The 2024 Rebelle Rally has ended, and I am here with the winners of the 2024 X-Cross, Andrea Schaefer and Carrie Lando. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Tired, still a little bit of shock.
Pretty giddy.
Yeah, pretty excited.
So Carrie's Subaru, which peeps to Subaru, what a good time to come in as a partner, right, when you take the podium and win.
Hey, that was a great time.
Carrie has a Subaru that she's had for 10 years, and it was a mom wagon to begin with, and now it is like a world-famous adventure wagon, I would say, Mountain Subi. How proud are you of your vehicle?
I'm so proud of it. We've worked really hard on it. I've come to grow and know how the vehicle works over the years since my first Rebelle, and I'm really proud of how it handles the terrain. It never failed us once, and really got us around. This is a perfect place for it to roam around and be in competition.
I love that. Never failed you once. And Andrea is a mom and a small business owner and an original Rebelle, I might add. And you've both won this Team Spirit Award. You've won it twice and you've won it once. But what I want to talk about today is what I'm calling, I wrote it down, Journey to the Dream Team. You two have competed with a lot of different people and you've won it this year. Talk to us a little bit about how you ended up competing together. Like, we've watched both of you so many times. What is it, 12 Rebelles between you?
Yeah, between the two of us.
How did you end up finding each other, and what was the evolution of you ending up as a team?
Well, we both met her first year and have just been really, really good friends and talk daily, not at the Rebelle, prior to this year. So when it came time for us to compete this year and neither one of us had a teammate going in, we just knew that it was going to be a good team.
So where were you when you made that decision to team up?
Let's see, I was at home.
I was in Alaska on a family trip.
But we didn't know for sure until about 6-7 weeks or so before the Rebelle.
It came together about the first week of September.
Oh, I thought you'd been cunningly planning this.
We'd been thinking about it, but it's a process to go through to team up with a new manufacturer who hadn't been here to the Rebelle before. So it's a whole new process, and it's new for me and Andrea as well. So we.
So let me ask you this: training. I've just spoke to a team who said that they wish they'd trained more together. So obviously you train apart because where do you live?
I'm up in Washington.
And you're in
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Okay, so you can't always train together. What's your strategy there for training alone? Obviously, Speed Plotter is my nickname for Andrea because she is a stellar navigator. You must do a lot of that at home alone. Talk me through how you train independently and together.
Well, we actually didn't train together. I didn't get in her car until I flew up to Seattle for the Rebelle. So
this was supposed to be about how important the donut is.
Well, it is, though.
But the fact that we have experienced separately, we were able to have so many conversations prior to getting in the car in Seattle about what we liked and what we didn't like, and things that work really well for me and things that work well for her, and things that we were willing, things that I do that she didn't necessarily do, and vice versa. And so we had really a lot of conversations prior to the actual getting in the vehicle for the first time
together
of what we liked, and we knew going in how I ran enduros and how things, how I call out checkpoints or
and how I drive and how I put things on my window to help me keep track of things in my brain, because if I hear numbers.
Right. So every morning I would go to talk to them,
little.
And she would put her window down. I'm like, she doesn't want to talk to me. But she had all her notes for the enduros. I'm floored that you two didn't train together. This is amazing.
Well, we trained so much with other people in past years, and I think that really gave us some of the tools to really know who we are as competitors, as individuals. And I think that's one of the most important things, is really knowing yourself. And being empathetic towards your teammate, and giving them grace and giving them the respect for their role, and then working together as a team. I think those are some of the most important things as a competitor for the Rebelle. Yeah. And I think Andrea and I are both on the same page, and that was one of the things that makes us such great teammates.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is you've both become very professional about it, and you do great with any professional Rebelle, somebody that's evolved as you two have. Well, I'm going to put you on the spot right now, Dream Team. Year 10, what's happening?
Oh, we're coming.
We're coming back.
Awesome. And peace again to Subaru, who came in at a very good year to sponsor these two. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's go see what Emme and Matthew are doing, or maybe some highlights.
Wow, that's great. It's going to be really fun to hear from Katy, Coffee with Katy this morning, in these longer form interviews.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time to get to everybody and really delve into the details, and Katy's able to do that at this Coffee with Katy show. But we're going to walk over to some of the Rebelle vehicles that we really wanted to talk about that we just never got a chance to.
Yeah, I know. Well, like we were saying, the week goes and everything's moving all the time, and we don't get a chance to kind of just chill and go a little deeper into these conversations on the vehicles and with the teams, and that's a lot about what today's about. And then also talking more with our sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, we're going to have some great interviews with some Toyota people. They've brought some hydrogen vehicles here, and it's just kind of a cool, interesting new powertrain possibility that's happening, and I love that Toyota is there for it. But right now, we want to bring you guys a little bit of a walk around of 141, the Roaming Wolves in their 1969 Bronco.
Behold
the greatness that is the 1969 Bronco.
Hey, we don't know which month this one was built, but if it was built in July of 1969, that is the same month that we landed on the moon.
That is a weird rando fact.
It is, but it gives you some perspective. Think about how long ago it was. Buzz and Armstrong and Collins were there in the sky taking the Eagle down to the moon's surface. That's when this was built.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about the geometry of this vehicle, because talking about off-roading, you want to make sure that you can get up and over obstacles, right? So if you come over here, this angle right here from the bottom of the tire up to this is your approach angle, and that is a really steep approach angle. They can get into stuff and just hit it and go up without any worry of hitting anything.
I see that for sure. You could drive right into a wall.
Right into a wall and you'd be fine.
You might do a backflip like some of my son's
like
car
a monster
toys.
truck.
Also see in there an adjustable front sway bar. And see, it looks like you could just pull a pin and swap the amount of tension in your front sway bar. And it's on what looks like the stiffest setting to me on that side at least.
Yeah. And it looks like, too, they have to get out and turn their hubs in order to engage four-wheel drive. A lot of these newer vehicles, well, all newer vehicles, you can do it from inside the vehicle. Here, you've got to actually come out and turn your hubs. So I just wonder if they've been running in four-wheel drive the whole time so that they don't have to get out, lock the hubs, unlock the hubs, you know?
You know, it's funny. We heard from some folks in newer vehicles, and we're talking about running in two-wheel drive to save gas, turning the AC off to save gas. That is a conversation for this vehicle, but largely not really one for a modern vehicle.
No, not at all. They were running the Scorpion all-terrain tires. These are a 315/70 on 17-inch wheels. That's a pretty big tire.
It is a big tire.
That's a pretty big tire. And because this is a two-door, not a four-door, you've got a really short wheelbase. Again, that's great for your breakover angle. But Matthew, what does that do sometimes with stability, having that short wheelbase?
Yeah, it makes it a turning machine.
Yeah.
But it also means when you're going faster, it's still a turning machine, and so you're trying to drive it straighter all the time because it's not naturally trying to go straight.
You sacrifice a little bit of stability for that breakover angle, right?
And then also forward and backwards, you've got more head toss forward and backwards as you're going over bumps.
Oh, right, because you're doing this a little bit, right? You're kind of pogoing a little bit.
You're bucking kind of like
a Bronco?
Oh, man.
Do you think I should open the door? Do you think maybe it's unlocked?
Looks locked.
I think it's locked. But maybe we can get in there, Kramer, and just have a little look-see. So they've got it looks like they've built their own center console there, as well as, and it is an automatic, but they do have their Terra Trip there. I love that they still have their standard dash with the little pull guys for their lights and everything. I know they got new seats for this year, so that part is pretty cool. They at least were able to be comfortable. And they had an aftermarket AC system, but unfortunately, it kind of pooped the bed, and I don't think they had AC for the whole time.
You know, the other thing I'm noticing, I believe the Bilsteins are new for this year, and I don't recognize, is that a 5100 with a piggyback reservoir?
Let me see.
Can you get a 5100 with a piggyback reservoir?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Still leaf springs in the rear, no coilovers for this bad boy. And then what are the springs? Oh, and then they do have a coil in the front. Yeah, those Bilsteins look nice.
Yeah, and I see the springs are Wild Horses brand.
I love this thing so much, and I'm so pleased that they have come back year after year. I mean, every year it's one thing or another, but they're such a fan favorite. They're a favorite of everybody on the team. They're a favorite of all of the staff, and they're just such great competitors. I love this vehicle, and I love this team so much.
Yeah, same here. Hopefully we'll have them in 40-30 next year when someone else might be in 40-30 to give them a little competition.
Yeah.
Well, should we check in and see if Katie's got someone?
Let's see if Katie has someone. If not, we've got some more vehicles out here on the line. We have some Rebelles that are out participating in a Tread Lightly cleanup. We've got people here that are waiting for their coffee with Katie moment. And it's just a cool, fun day here at the base camp as we wait for Rebellation, which happens tonight when we all get dressed up.
Yeah, get dressed up. Luckily, the wind laid down. It's a really nice day. It's going to be like 70, 75 or something.
Yeah, I know. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I love it.
So did I hear in the background it's going to be Carla with Katie?
It's a live show, y'all. It's a live show.
Yeah, it's a live show, and we got people all over the place not wearing their vests today.
All right. It looks like Katie is ready. Katie, back to you.
Thank you, guys. This is really fun. I get to sit here and relax, and those two are out doing the job. I've been doing over 17 shows right through the desert, Nevada and Colorado. I'm here with Carla Wright from Toyota, and before we start chatting, I just want to thank Toyota for sponsoring our show. We have had such a fun time with our ups and downs, but we really, really feel privileged that Toyota supports our live show. Now, Carla came in as a rookie this year, Team 183, with Heather Ike, and she's a manufacturing VP for Toyota Motor Manufacturing. Can you tell us what you do as a daily job? Like, what does that involve?
Okay, so, from a daily perspective, it's a matter of, ensuring that the plant is operational at the beginning of each shift, and we're able to produce, over 900 trucks a day. And that's a day. So that's Tundra and Sequoia that we produce in the plant in Texas, San Antonio. And, our goal is 900 trucks a day.
I had no idea.
Yes.
It's a ton of trucks.
It is. Over 2 shifts. So we have team members that work 2 shifts. They rotate every 2 weeks where they're on, days for 2 weeks, and then they, move back to nights. It's grueling.
Okay, so talking of grueling, what were your expectations coming into the 2024 Rebelle as a rookie? How did you get into this?
Oh, my gosh. So a term that we frequently use at Toyota is called voluntold. It was slightly voluntold. So
what does that mean?
So last year, Suzanne and I, we talked about it, Mike Swears, who's the executive chief engineer for the Tundra product, this generation and previous, he had asked us to participate along with, Sam and Becky, which we'll, broach a little bit later. And we talked about it at the time. Suzanne and I are both at the plant in San Antonio. And we decided, okay, you go first this time, right? she does, and she starts going to training, and she comes back, and she's telling me, oh, it's camping for 8 days. It's, being able to, use the bathroom outside. I'm like, yeah, I'm out. Done. Suzanne gets promoted to president this year in May, and she asked me if I want to participate. And I'm looking at her like, I thought that we talked about this, and I'm not into camping. I've never camped in my life. But, seriously, in true Toyota fashion, I was like, okay, I'm taking this on. It's a challenge. Taken. So
looking back, we haven't just camped. We slept in a sandstorm.
Yes.
And look at you. You look amazing.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I had no idea.
Yes. Never driven off-road before, this, practicing for this event. Thankful of our team. So we have a team in Arizona at our proving grounds. They actually, it's a off-road driving school, if you will, and they took us out to Crown King, which is a crazy trail, and they taught us, how to drive in the different terrain, how to recover your vehicle. I had never changed a tire.
So if you're watching and you're thinking of doing the Rebelle,
you can do it.
You can absolutely do it. So that's a good segue, because Toyota really leans into empowering women in general and in STEM. I know that Becky and Sam, two competitors who actually placed third this year, they set up the program and have done a really good job, like holding on to it and making sure that you come back every year. How does Toyota pick the teams? I mean, we have some engineers, we have some people that are experienced and clearly not. What's the process?
There's an application process, actually.
But you didn't apply. We're going to talk to Suzanne later. She threw you under the bus.
Yes, I told her, you sandbagged me.
She totally did.
Yeah, she did.
So they fill out an application, then what happens?
So they fill out an application, there's an interview process, and, ultimately it's really looking at what's your passion around off-roading is definitely key to that, but also your self-development. How are you going to approach this journey? It's not easy. It's tough. Endurance is the key to this game. Also, how do you live the Toyota principles? Are you truly out there mentoring and lifting others up, women especially in our organization, and how involved are you in our business partnering groups, which are also another great avenue to really influence the younger generation, share, those Toyota principles, respect for people, Kaizen, collaboration across boundaries. And, the really great thing about this event, this game, is that it personifies all of those things,
So on the line, we talked a lot about Kaizen. And what's the direct interpretation of that is constant improvement, right?
Constant.
So Toyota's reputation for reliable vehicles and constantly improving their vehicles is, the fabric of the company. But this is an analog rally. There's no technology. I mean, as you've just learned, your phone, your computer, everything digital was taken from you. Which is another thing that Suzanne probably threw you under the bus about.
Exactly.
So completely analog. Can you help me understand how the Rebelle helps Toyota with their reliability, their technology, and their constant improvement, given that we're an analog event?
Sure. So I think, there's this feeling that somebody else is managing these vehicles that we're driving out here. That's not the case. So, the teams, each team, the driver, and the navigator, they're actually learning how their vehicle operates, right? They're, although we're running stock vehicles, of course, there are different types of, equipment or tools that you need to make sure that you can get out here and operate on these trails. So even though it's an analog event and we don't have access to technology, we're a unified team, not only just the Toyota team, but across all of the females here, and really understanding how our vehicles operate. what happens when you're hearing a clunk? Is it a fan belt that came loose? What happens if, you hit a boulder out there? We had a team, Mika,
yes.
right? Mika and Diane, who are driving, the big Sequoia. Yes, Sequoia. They're out there driving that. They hit a boulder, dent the frame. Now, is that vehicle, is it drivable? Are they still in the game or not? So, the team, we all go back there to go to the mechanics. We're looking at it, kind of doing our own pre-assessment, if you will. But, of course, you guys have the gearheads out there that are marvelous and really kept all of us going through the race.
And two of those mechanics were from Toyota. Toyota gave them to the Rebelle for the week. Thank you, Toyota.
Yes, thanks, Grace and Anastasia.
They're such an amazing crew.
Absolutely.
So look out, Toyota, because you've got an army of women coming back with some suggestions.
A lot of suggestions.
Well, thank you so much. This has been fantastic, and you've really highlighted that the Rebelle is a proving ground.
It is.
For Toyota, and it's also a proving ground for us, staff and competitors, and I think you're really damn tough, given what you've just told me about being thrown under the bus.
Well, thank you. And, one piece I forgot to mention, just along, with how are we, really using this opportunity to leverage Kaizen and those principles with the truck. So this gives all of us that opportunity to see how the customer really uses the vehicle. And never, coming from manufacturing previously, I was on the R&D side, never had I understood, that we have this huge following. Not only, even when we stopped at gas stations, right? People like Toyota,
totally. It's a cult following.
It is a total cult following, and the different modifications that are being done to the vehicles. So that helps us when we're designing and developing these vehicles. What does the customer want to see? What is the reliability that they need on these trails? These trails are rigorous. The sand, it's rigorous, and having a product that's able to stand up to that rigor, it's amazing. And I feel, really humbled and special to work for Toyota and be able to come out here and see how our customers are using the vehicles.
And Emily certainly gives you every single type of terrain. Are you coming back next year? I guess you have to put your application in.
I have to come back next year. Our goal was to be top 10. We're at 14.
All rookies do that. We're going to do top 10. It's
right?
You got to come figure it out first. Well, thank you so much for your time. Yes. And I look forward to seeing you at the gala tonight.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you. If you're watching at home, go back and watch some of our live shows, because we had, I think it's 18 Toyotas from every era. So there's a testament to the reliability and the constant improvement. All right, back to you, Emme and Matthew, or maybe we'll go to some highlights. Who knows?
Thank you so much, Katie. I'm out here looking at some of these Rebelle vehicles that we're finally getting a chance to delve into. And here I've got the tippy-top trim of the Land Cruiser. Toyota gave me a Land Cruiser to drive around, and I am really loving it.
I'll say I've heard a lot of nice things about it. I drove it really briefly, still finding all the buttons and stuff, but everything seems nicely laid out.
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Well, obviously we were just talking to Carla.
Yeah, she's one of your favorite teams.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that she was like, I don't like camping. There are a lot of Rebelles here, by the way, that actually don't like camping.
No, they are not into it.
That's what it takes. Yep. And I also love Katie putting people on the spot. So you coming next year?
Yeah, I know. And they're like, I don't know. I can't think that far in advance.
For those who can think that far in advance, registration is open.
Yep, registration is open.
Yeah. So tell us about what we got here.
Yeah, so with this Land Cruiser, this is available in the hybrid only. 2.4-liter V6 hybrid, about 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. And what's great about that torque is that it is that electric push, so it comes on much quicker than it would in a vehicle that's completely just purely gas, right?
Now, how is that helpful off-roading? Because
you have it there exactly when you need it. There's no, you don't have to wait for any turbos to spool up. You don't have to wait to get into the power band. It's just right there. Now, that is more, it's more prevalent in a vehicle that is full battery electric, but even having a hybrid helps that.
Sure, that instant punch. The place I really want it is when I'm in the sand.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
exactly.
That sink moment that you're like,
no. When in doubt, throttle out. These are also full-time four-wheel drive, and then they have got a center locker and a rear locker, but no front locker.
So tell me a little bit more about the front of this vehicle.
I love the front of this vehicle. I love this grille so much because the round headlights are just so classic, right? It's something that we've seen from older cars when all they could do was round headlights. So this, to me, makes it look very nostalgic, and this takes me back to, like, ye oldie off-roady days. And so I really, really like this heritage grille.
I get that feeling because round headlights seem to personify a vehicle for me a bit.
Yeah.
When I was young, there was a lot more personifying of vehicles, you know, and when I didn't understand the mechanics a lot, you're just working on hope and luck, you know, and the fact that it had kind of a face seemed to help that.
Right.
But if I could draw your attention, Kramer,
Yes.
I know you like the heritage.
I do.
but
Look how great it is.
Now that I've been around these vehicles, I'd like to just point out the just normal Land Cruiser headlights and grille over here. I think I'm a bit partial to this one.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. I think it looks really good. You've definitely got the same amount of lighting power there. We've got some rigid fog lights down there in the little dimples on the grill. But it's just the round headlights just do it for me, man. What can I say?
I mean, it feels like it's just a replacement of that set. I mean, the rest, the bottom, the middle looks pretty much the same.
Yeah. It's definitely just the headlights. You know what? I think we have the navigator of this vehicle here. Do we want to talk to her?
Well,
Do we want to
Yes.
talk to her? Come on in. We were having a great conversation earlier about this vehicle. Like, what you were navigating on this, correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay. How comfort wise, how did it feel for you from the passenger seat?
It was good. You know, we had a couple bounces here and there. We might have seen some air here and there, but it was good.
Although we might have gotten this vehicle off the ground, but it was fine.
Landed pretty softly.
Sheena, tell us a little bit about the different models available and what's different between the one with the Heritage Grille and this normal Land Cruiser we're looking at.
Yeah, so we have 3 different grades. You've got the 1958, you've got the Land Cruiser, and you've got the first edition. So Terry and Ray, Team 134, they are in the first edition, and we have the Land Cruiser edition. So.
Gotcha. Are the all-wheel drive capabilities any different?
No, same. For both of those, yep.
So it's just bougie features on the inside.
Yeah. Upgraded skid plate on. You've got a bigger aluminum powder coated. It's got the Toyota stamped skid plate on the first edition as opposed to this one. But
now here's a question: are we going to be seeing a TRD Pro Land Cruiser in the future? Come on, you can tell me.
I hope so. I really hope so. I'd really love to see this with the upgraded TRD Pro suspension and things like that. So let's just keep our fingers crossed.
Okay, well, I know that you guys cannot talk to future product. I have heard that many, many times in my job as a journalist. But I have to ask the question, right? I have to ask the question.
Yeah, for sure. Now, earlier you mentioned this platform was a world vehicle. So is that something I'm going to find if I go to Europe and rent a Land Cruiser? I'm going to be able to find essentially the same thing?
It's a live show, everyone. It's a live show.
Yes. I mean, the Land Cruiser is a global vehicle. And we were talking about, I think I've been to 15 countries and been in a Land Cruiser. I mean, they're just kind of iconic vehicles. So yes, it's a global vehicle. You're going to see different styles of them. This is closer to what they would call, the Prada style in the Asia, Africa markets, but you're going to see Land Cruisers everywhere, just different models, different types, depending on where you're at.
Now, from my experience, I did a lot of traveling around the world with Top Gear, and we shoot that show with Land Cruisers. Literally any country, Ethiopia, Borneo, Nepal, wherever, it's a fleet of old Land Cruisers to get that show done.
Yeah, right. They're just iconic. They're workhorses. You've got to love a Land Cruiser. So when we found out that we were getting the 2024 Land Cruiser to come here to the Rebelle Rally, we were so excited.
I was stoked that I was going to be able to get a Land Cruiser this year to come down here. Last year we had the Sequoia, the hybrid Sequoia, and that was great, and I really enjoyed my time in that. But there is something that's iconic about the Land Cruiser. I mean, it is something that is survived the test of time. That brand, the model, has been around for forever, and so just getting in it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so cool. I just love it. I feel so great. So I am glad that I got that. I had plenty of room for all of my stuff. We did great in the dunes. We hung out with it. We did a little bit of like walking around here in Johnson Valley with it. I'm pretty pleased. I know I've got some automotive journalist friends that want to buy a Land Cruiser, and my friend was like, don't mess that one up because Toyota might sell it to me. Thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate your time. I know you're just trying to like relax, and we dragged you into an interview. So
no worries. I love to talk about the Land Cruiser. We love it. So
thank you, Sheena.
Guys.
Perfection. Well, we've got the base camp is open today for visitors, so we've got people here that are visiting their friends and their family, which is kind of cool. I don't feel like we've ever really had this before.
We have, but this feels a little more open, and more folks are around. It's pretty chill.
No, it is. Great. It is pretty chill. We've got another Toyota over here, which I believe is our Total Chaos Toyota. I see some Total Chaos underneath there on the control arms of that Tacoma. Look at how beefy this thing is. I mean, like a regular Tacoma is really, really good, especially in the TRD Pro version. But once you get that Total Chaos on it, it takes a jump up to the next level, and it's really, really great.
Yeah, we can see this one has the lower control arms.
And the uppers as well, the chromoly uppers.
Upper control arms.
Yeah. With those uniballs there, so you don't have a ball joint, and having that uniball makes it a little bit more, it's able to connect correct the camber and caster from putting a lift in it into it. I love it. I wish that Total Chaos made something for my lifted Miata, but unfortunately that's never going to happen.
One of the big benefits, by the way, of the aftermarket lower control arms is that they're holding also a uniball out where the lower ball joint usually is.
Right.
And that is a known failure point for off-roading.
Yeah.
Ripping a lower ball joint apart. And when that happens, it's real bad.
No, it is real bad, and then you're stuck on the trail for how long. But look at who we found here, 204. This is Mountain Subi in her incredibly well-built Subaru. She's been working on this thing for 4 years. And what's interesting about this car, this comes with a continuously variable transmission. And not only did she re-gear the rear end, she also re-geared the CVT. That is too much engineering magic for me. I'm not exactly sure how you do that, but it's able to give her she's able to access the power a little bit easier and get a little bit more torque on it. And she was telling us yesterday, 12 inches of ground clearance at the diff.
And 12 inches of suspension travel.
Yeah, 10 at the diff, 12 everywhere else, and 12 inches of suspension travel.
I'm just looking at the approach angle.
Yeah,
obviously if she comes into a hill at an angle and is looking here.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it's great. It's great.
I've never seen a Subaru that could drive into a hill the way this can.
No, it's so great. I love this vehicle so much. I told her that we were going to, me and my lifted Miata, and then Mountain Subi and her lifted Subaru, we need to go out and play and have a good time.
Yeah.
Because it's so awesome.
We're going to have Carrie and Andrea on the stand. Did they already
We
chat?
did, yeah. They already have been on the stand. So great to see them finally getting a good vibe with as their new partners together this year. But they had such a good vibe, and it showed because they came out on top. Very handily came out on top this year.
Yeah, strong performances each day. And that's really what it comes down to, is adding all the days together. Obviously, right? But even when you have a rough day, you just got to keep after it. And I know some teams that would love to be in contention for the overall just forgot about the bad days and just tried to get a good placement each day.
Every day.
Tried to win a day, you know.
Every day you just need to be consistent. You don't need to win every single day in order to win the Rebelle Rally. All you need to do is be consistently in the top 3 to 5, and you're going to come out, obviously, in the top 3 to 5, and you might actually win it. But in order to do that, you got to beat Nina and Terrelyn, which is proving to be quite a difficult task.
Difficult. Speaking of winning a day, our team, Total Chaos Team 152, Sam and Becky, they won day 3.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
Oh, I'm so excited. That makes me happy. I'm so glad they did. They were our Rookies of the Year a couple years ago. They have just come back. They pioneered the Toyota program, bringing in engineers and women that work for Toyota to come out here in the Rebelle Rally. You know, Toyota didn't send professional drivers and navigators. They sent people who are just work for Toyota.
engineers.
Yeah.
Learning about the vehicles they work on.
Which shows that you do not have to be a professional driver or navigator to come out here and do well in the Rebelle Rally, because we have plenty of training for you at Rebelle U. Nina Barlow also puts on a training program. So there's ways that you can learn and come out here and have a new adventure. So don't feel like, oh, I've never done it before, I could never do that. No. Life is full of doing stuff that you haven't done before. What are you looking at? You look so happy. What's going on?
I'm looking at an absolute abomination driving across the dry lake bed.
What is it? Is it the...
I'll give you about 2 guesses.
Oh, I know what it is.
I'm not a fan.
All right. Well, let's make our way back. I think we might want to talk to some of the Toyota hybrid teams that are going over there. And it sounds like, do they have Nina and Terrelyn?
I'm not sure. I hear some banter.
Yeah, let's see. All right, not quite yet.
So we could see some teams closing up some tents, a lot of tents. Actually, that's staff area, isn't it?
Yeah. No, we will have the podium coming to you guys later on in this show. We'll be giving away first, second, and third for the 4x4 and the X-Cross class. And then later on at 5 o'clock, Matthew and I will be clean, showered, and dressed up as we do our red carpet for the Rebellation. And after that, we're going to go dark, and then we are going to have a good time because it is the time for the Rebelles to be celebrated.
I'm looking for an Ineos to do a walk around on. I know there's a lot of folks at home that haven't seen those yet.
They might be at the cleanup. I don't see one. Kramer, watch yourself. Don't back into that. Let's see. I know now that everybody is not in impound, I'm like, I don't know where people are.
We've got a lineup of Toyota vehicles for some photos out there.
Yep.
See the
What is
visual
that
guys
tier?
getting sorted out with them.
Yeah. That TRD Pro with the spares in the back, that looks so good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I love that.
I took a photo of that in the 86 4Runner.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, Emma and Nicole's 86 4Runner. Beside that one looked really cool.
Of the 4Runner, we saw the new 4Runner was out here yesterday. We saw it in the live show, and then I went out to take a photo of it. Later on, it was gone. It's gone. I know. Everyone's very excited about the new 4Runner. Toyota's been putting out a lot of new products lately. It started with the new started with the new Tundra, and then they brought out the new Tacoma, and then the new Sequoia, and now the Land Cruiser, and now the 4Runner's coming out. I would hate to be a product planner at Toyota.
Oh, man. Well, if you pay any attention to Toyota's vehicles, when they make a new model, they stick with it for
forever.
A long time.
Forever. Oh, my gosh. That 4Runner had been around for just years and years and years.
I mean, the 4Runner that's just been is being replaced is very similar to my 4th gen underneath in a lot of places. Yeah, that persisted a long time. So it's a new architecture, new power plant, lots of future planning probably in the power plant area where different hybrid versions can fit.
Yeah, a lot of people are questioning, though, why do we have the Land Cruiser and the 4Runner at the same time? They're basically the same size. And to me, I feel like the Land Cruiser is kind of Toyota's, and I don't want to say bougie because that's a Lexus, that's a GX, but it's more top tier off-roader, whereas the 4Runner is like, down and dirty 4Runner. You know what I mean? Do you get that feeling?
Yeah, I'm trying to interpolate that, actually. I would love for someone to tell me. Maybe there's a product planner here we can talk to.
Yes, there might be. But it's a really good time to be a car person with all the hybrids coming out, the alternative powertrains. Like we said, Toyota has brought their hydrogen fuel cell experimental vehicles out here, which is pretty cool. We're going to talk to them as soon as we get back from Katy, probably. There's just a lot of things going on this morning. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the things going on is going to be me drinking coffee here in a moment while we jump over to Katy. Go for it, Katy.
Thank you, guys. We're just running around trying to get our coffees because, after all, this is Coffee with Katy, right, Eva?
It's Coffee with Katy and Eva right now.
It is. So I'm here with Eva, who is from Team 142. So Eva and Azure were supposed to compete in this year's rally, but Hurricane Milton put a stop to that. And then in true Rebelle spirit, Emily Miller said, well, hey, why don't you come and work on the Rebelle? So before we get into that, what happened? How come you couldn't compete this year?
Right. Well, it was Sunday night before the Rebelle, and I was up in Phoenix working on the truck, getting things ready. Azure was getting ready to jump on a plane and fly out to Phoenix, and then Hurricane Milton came straight blazing through Florida. So she had to redirect, help her family, make sure her house was battened down, do some evacuation stuff. And so we pulled the plug on our rally this year. And
it's hard. Two teams had to do that, and it's really tough.
It's really tough. But, it's like if something's going to stop you from competing for the Rebelle, it's going to be a force of nature, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Now, I know you're an event producer, a big event producer. So Emily said, well, come work on staff. And, of course, Ava's like, absolutely, always game. How did it feel to come into an event and not have to run it?
It's fabulous. It was really nice to show up and just be like, hey, Eva, here's your job. Like, carry this box, drive this person. It's been awesome. It's really nice to be in an environment where somebody knows what's going on and they can delegate. And Emily does that so well with this team. And every silo in this machine is doing that with incredible efficiency. So it's been so fun to be a part of it. And then just have my little fun jobs. I've been driving photographers around.
She's
and
done
helping
a little
here
bit
and
of
there,
everything.
and
Seriously.
It's been really good.
Okay, so you were a rookie last year in the Rebelle. And this year you were a rookie on staff. And if you've ever worked on staff at the Rebelle Rally, I mean, I think there's a waiting list for people to volunteer because it's so much fun. But we run our own rally. I mean, it is just as exhausting for staff members as it is for teams. Nobody knows what's going on in the background. I mean, this base camp was set up a couple days ago, and then a sandstorm came through, and I kid you not, there was 3 inches of sand behind me, which is supposed to be the gala tonight. And Steph's team just came together. They had blowers in here, and by the time the woman turned up, it looked like a gala facility, and they didn't know any better. And I think it's one-to-one team. Staff member to team member. So what was it like to run the staff rally?
Staff rally was incredible. It is as much of a marathon as being a Rebelle. Totally different, but really nonstop. Early mornings, late night, tons of behind-the-scenes stuff, and the media team here works particularly long hours because everybody's out before sunrise and then working till the bitter end at the end of the day. So it's no different. It's no different than any other event. And it is as challenging as being a Rebelle in a lot of ways. I've taken exactly the same number of showers this year as I did last year as a Rebelle.
I think that there's mechanics slow dancing behind us. As you know, we've just spent... What the hell? So Nina and Tyrolyn, who I'm interviewing next, were actually late for their interview because Tyrolyn was stuck in the bathroom. So I've just thrown her completely under the bus. It's coffee with Katy.
I love it.
Now, just before we finish up, you own... Matthew Johnson. You own a boutique hotel in Bisbee. Is that right?
Yep.
Bisbee, Arizona. I'm coming to visit. I've been to that little town.
It's the best little town.
I'm going to spank Matthew. Stop it.
As long as he doesn't mess with my coffee, he can do whatever he wants.
Thank you. Talk to me a little bit about your hotel because I can't wait to come and visit.
So I live in a little town in... This is my favorite.
Just keep talking. They can entertain people behind it.
I live in a little town in southern Arizona. It's called Bisbee. It's an old mining town. It's adorable. And I own a motel called the John Quill Motel. We can do a cutaway of this.
Oh,
John Quill
perfect.
Motel. Super cool. Very motorcycle friendly. Very overland, off-road friendly. The town itself is adorable. And the motel is super cute. We've got 7 little rooms. Big backyard if you want to come park a truck or a trailer and get your dirt bikes out and go riding around. It's awesome. Open 365 days a year. You can call right now and reserve your room. So...
Thank you so much. I can't wait to come and visit.
Please come.
You've been so much fun on staff. Before I let you go, staff or team next year?
We're coming back to compete next year. 142. We'll see you at the start line.
Awesome. Okay, back to you, Emme. Who is that?
Thank you so much, Katy. I love talking to Eva Rupert. She is one of my favorites. She was actually on my favorite TV show, so I always fangirl over her. But for right now, I am with the fabulous Miss Kristen Matlock, driver of the 154 Fox Trail Trust Bronco. And Kristen, you guys kind of had like an interesting time because you were not really in the running for Rookie of the Year, and yet here you are. So what happened?
Right. I mean, from the get-go, we're all in the running, right?
Sure. But then you guys were having like mid-pack days, and 120 had a couple of really, really good days.
Exactly. Yeah, 120 was on rails the entire time.
Yeah.
And we were all convinced that was Rookie of the Year, and to the point where we're like, yeah, great, maybe we can get second, maybe we can get third, maybe we can podium against them, but we were dead set that they had it. But we went into the last 2 days, which were days 6 and 7, feeling confident. We'd had a really bad day the day before. Only 50% of the waypoints were hit by us, and but then we hit the dunes, and the dunes are my friend.
Yeah,
apparently.
That's where you excel, man. No,
yeah,
you're great. That's where that Dakar experience comes in.
Totally. Yeah, I was able to just get a heading from my navigator, Ashley, shoot for that, tell me the distance, just stayed right on that line through the dunes, and each time we came up and over that final dune, there it was. So,
dude, isn't that amazing when you're like, I think it's going to be right over this dune. I think it's going to be, and then you come up over and you're like, oh my God, we were right.
Yeah, we were like fist pumping and everything. Do you want to come in here?
Feeling.
Ashley's
no, come
here.
On in. Here, let me stand in the middle. I'll stand over here, and then that way I can use the mic for you.
Feeding.
No, that's fine.
I didn't let her eat much.
I think, anyways. I'm always eating when you guys come around.
Well, no, it's okay, but I know that. As the navigator, you were always so busy trying to, get all of the information that you needed at the starting line. And now, honestly, I kind of feel like I'm seeing a different navigator here because you're like, yeah, I'm here, let's talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you're an engineer for Fox.
That's correct.
So what did you learn on this Rebelle Rally that you think you can take back to Fox to help out with the design of what is already a really stellar product?
That's a really good question. That's deep. Just having that seat time, I think, is really important. Sorry, I have food in my mouth. I work in a lab setting, so I see shocks on dynos that are just, moving, running a profile. So now I can kind of see like what it's actually doing in the vehicle and what the rider's feeling. So I think that's a great experience to bring back.
Yeah, right. I mean, on a dyno is one thing, but being able to see, okay, on the dyno when maybe it's just going up and down and up and down and up and down, that's probably washboard. And now you know how that feels when you're in washboard and you're like, I hate everything right now.
And like top out, bottom out, like I know what that feels like now.
Yeah, and it's a difference, right? It's a really big difference.
Absolutely. It's huge. I didn't really think about it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Now, what size Fox shocks are on this vehicle? Kristen, you can answer that since she's got food in her mouth.
They're the 3 O's that are on here.
And are they the piggyback reservoirs?
Yes. Yeah, it has the cactus coolers. Yeah, they are remotes. That's right.
Oh, okay. Tell me the difference between a remote and a piggyback.
Want to look?
Yeah, let's look. Let's look at our remotes over here. Let's see.
This one.
Which one has the most?
Let's see. Kristen, can you get in there and maybe turn the wheel?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, remote just means that the reservoir is remote. Basically, piggyback is when they're attached by a body cap together. Okay. It's kind of hard to see, but.
All right. Well, she's going to move the wheel here so that we can get in there, get underneath there and look at it.
Yeah, the remote has a hose that runs from the body to the reservoir. You can see it. Let's get in there. See this hose here? That makes it remote. Here's the reservoir. There's the main shock. Yeah, it's that simple.
And so what is actually in that remote reservoir?
Oil.
But why would I want a remote reservoir? Why not just keep all of the oil inside the body of the shock?
Oh God, that's technical.
You can get nerdy. That's why we're here.
Yeah, well, I work on like breaking things so much, not so much like the design of the shocks.
Okay. All right.
I just know how they break.
Well, I do not have remote reservoirs on my race car. You can keep coming in. But Fox has helped me out with a lot of stuff, and they're like, we need to get some remote reservoirs on you, because that way the shock fluid has a place to go, kind of cool down a little bit, and that way you're not overloading the shock, and you can still get the right pressure because it's not like exploding into the body of your shock. It's able to go into that reservoir, get a little cool, and then flow back into the shock to have the proper dampening properties.
Right.
Did that sound right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With the off-road stuff, I work in the power sports. But yeah, these are the finned ones. So yeah, exactly what you said.
Look at that.
be removed more fast.
I'm like an engineer. I'm so good.
Good job, Amy.
We're so good. We are so good.
We've learned a lot as off-road racers for sure, but my understanding is that they hold a lot more oil too, so it enables them to be cooler.
Okay.
And those are cactus coolers, and it allows air to get to them and keep it cooled. So
that's awesome.
There we go.
Well, I love this is a King of the Hammers edition Bronco that Fox built specifically for KOH. Are you racing KOH in the winter?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We do it every year, but I'll be in my Polaris Razor at that event doing the desert race, not necessarily the rock race, even though I love it.
The rock race.
I've done it. I did it in 2019 and absolutely loved it, but it takes a purpose-built vehicle for that. So I'm able to show up to King of the Hammers desert race with my normal race vehicle and just go for it. So,
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I should see you out there at the King of the Hammers desert race in the little Miata, and hopefully I won't get run over by a 1400 truck this year. At any rate, I know that Katy's got some people up there at Katy with Coffee. You all, thank you so much for coming in. Thanks for hopping in, even though you're eating a sausage right here on camera.
Letting me eat a sausage on camera.
I told you, I didn't let her eat much during the rally, so she's trying to make up for it now.
All right, Katy, back to you.
Thank you, Emme. She is in such a happy place out there, geeking out. Our resident motorhead, Emme Hall. Hey, I'm here with Nina and Tyrolyn, winners of the 2024 Rebelle Rally 4x4. You did it in a Jeep 4XE.
Jeep Gladiator Mojave.
See, Emmy's the technical person. They've won the 2024 Rebelle Rally in a
Jeep Gladiator Mojave.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you.
You're the most winningest Rebelle in the Rebelle. Nina, and you guys are close. I think if you come back next year, it might be the most winningest team. So that's a challenge. We have to do the calculations on that. So Nina owns Barlow Rentals, and you rent off-road vehicles, and you train a lot of the Rebelles. Yeah. So this interview is more about the shared knowledge. A quote from Tyrolyn has always been, if we don't share our knowledge, this competition won't get better. And so they're very open about their knowledge. And, of course, Nina trains many of the Rebelles. So let's start from training. What do you two share in the Facebook group and in training with people who want to rebel and sign up for trainings, etc.?
Everything. There is no secret sauce. There's a lot to this. But, I mean, we tell people, when we attend Rebelle U's or Barlow Adventures trainings, of course, that my company hosts, the Zoom meetings that Emily does a lot of different Zoom meetings online, we tell people we will share everything. There's no secrets. We'll share everything that we can with you, but we'll share it before, because once we're here in the competition, we're on pace. There's not a lot of time. Everybody's exhausted, and so ask those questions, get that information ahead of time. We'll try to help people as much as we can right here, but we don't want to sacrifice our pace for preparation that someone else didn't do that they could have done ahead of time.
I was going to say, maybe the secret sauce is, it's not that we're not sharing knowledge. The secret you got to figure out is that execution. It is the pace. You have all the info we have. Can you put it into motion?
Oh, good point.
At a good speed.
So you can have all the knowledge, but can you, after 5 days of competing, wake up at 4 a.m., which I knew you're always first person in the tent. So can you put that into practice if you haven't slept, which I know on this rally? Tell me a little bit about this rally compared to other rallies. How's it been? Like, where would you rate it in the other rallies you've done?
Well, we were talking about this yesterday. Last year was hard with all the twists. It was a lot mentally to figure out strategy and fitting everything new in. This year was about the pace. It was chasing the clock every single checkpoint. It was like, okay, we've got to get this next 3 in the next 42 minutes. That gives us so many minutes per checkpoint, like go, 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 go. We were exhausted. It's not a race, but it's on time. So
that's another thing about the secret sauce. Emily will make it a grueling physical terrain challenge one year, and then another year it will just be a mind rattle. And you have to be able to dance to her plot twists.
And the terrain was tough this year.
Yeah, we had our bell knocked a few times.
Okay, so towards the end of the rally, teams will, people always ask, well, can't you just follow someone? Like, this seems so easy. You just follow the winners. And so jump in the vehicle and follow you two. But it's not that simple. because we have different groups. But then towards the end of the rally, we do form alliances so that you can help each other. Talk the people at home through what an alliance looks like and how you can't just follow someone.
So we don't tend to do alliances very often. We might do it for a short period of time. Like, for example, yesterday morning, we got with Susan and Elise in the dunes just for those first few checkpoints that we had. And that was because we were in the shitty dunes. And
wait a minute, can you please explain what a shitty dune is?
They look like they should be easier. They're small. They're on the east side of Glamis, and so they don't look as intimidating. But because they're so small and close together, you can't get in a driving flow. It's very easy to get stuck because you have to go slow because it's very sharp.
You can't just swoop in and out.
No big swoops like on the fun west side with the huge bowls that are really intimidating looking. But they're actually kind of easier to drive.
So if you're listening, the big dunes are easier to drive. The shitty dunes, which she's describing, are really difficult.
They're named shitty dunes for a reason. Yeah, not my name. Universal. So
you chose, because you're in the shitty dunes, to team up with another team to
watch out for each other, because we don't want to get stuck and lose that time. And so we're going to help each other. We're going to compare notes. It's like we think it's, X, Y, Z. Our plots compare. Our heading and our distance compares. We're not finding 1X was really tough. Most teams did not find 1X. And so we were all out there circling around looking for it. And that's when you're going to get stuck.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you so much. It's always great to see you two up there. Just before we go, if somebody's watching and they're thinking, I can't do this. These women have done it 10's next year, but done it so many times, I can't possibly do that. What would you give as a piece of advice just to get started, just to gain a little bit of confidence, but even before you do a training? Like, how do you prepare to become a Rebelle if you've never done it before?
She's looking at me. You just start. I mean, if you decide and you just start, and it's hard. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges of the rally is a lot of women that choose to compete tend to be more A-plus personality. And I think women tend to want to be perfect and have all their decks in a row. And you just have to know that you're going to make the mistakes and be okay with that, but be humble, acknowledge your mistakes so you can learn from them faster and progress faster. And then you just have to go put in the time and do it.
And watching the evolution of all of you, like one team didn't know a lot about their car, and I talked to them this year, and they decided to learn everything. And so they could fix their car. And it's like, how cool that we as Rebelles have this evolution. Well, if you want to do a training with Nina Barlow, head out to Barlow Adventures. If you guys want to learn more about the Rebelle, get onto our Facebook page and you will learn a lot more. And of course, go back and watch the live shows and see exactly what just went down in the last 7 days. Can't wait to see you guys at the gala. You're always so fun to talk to and see. Thank you. Back to you and Emme and Matthew. What's up? Thanks, guys. That was great.
So sweaty.
Yeah, that's
division at Toyota. And if you haven't noticed, we've got a lot of Toyota around on site today. A lot of fun folks to talk to. So Debbie, tell us a little bit about the fuel cell division.
Yep, fuel cell development is out of our hydrogen headquarters in Gardena, California. We unveiled it and cut the ribbon in May of this year, and we're excited to have a dedicated research facility just for hydrogen technology development.
So what's behind us here, most people would call a semi-truck. In the industry, it's a Class 8 semi-truck. Tell me about the development of this. You guys partnered with, I believe it's called PACCAR?
PACCAR, that's
PACCAR.
Right. Yep, PACCAR is a group company that has Kenworth, and this is a Kenworth-based truck. Inside, powering it, is 2 fuel cells from the Toyota Mirai. It has 6 10-kilogram hydrogen tanks, and it is able to go over 450 miles, fully loaded at 80,000 pounds.
Wow. Okay. Now, this was, as I understand it, it was engineered to be at the port. Is that right?
That's right. That's one of the first areas we want to help curb emissions. Port has a lot of vehicles coming in and out, and we noticed in those types of areas there's a lot of pollution. Thank you. So one of the facilities we partnered with there is called Trigen. Trigen is a facility where they bring in off gases from water treatment facilities, and they turn that into hydrogen that powers our Toyota Logistics Center in the port of Long Beach. The hydrogen also produced there is used to fuel these Class 8 semi-trucks.
Wow, this is cool. So are you telling me part of that funky stuff you see over Riverside might be a little bit less because of the way the port in Long Beach is operating on hydrogen?
Exactly. So the Trigen, it creates electricity for the logistics services, hydrogen for the trucks, and also the water that's created is used to wash the Toyota vehicles coming off the ships.
I love it. Now, would you call this green hydrogen then?
This particular case is not green hydrogen, but because we're taking those off gases, we are helping to curb some of that.
So it's like a half step or something.
Yep, basically.
Oh, well, let's talk a little bit more about the truck.
Sure.
So what what we're looking at here, 2 fuel cells from the Mirai
two
stacked
fuel
together?
cells from the Mirai stacked in this box frame here.
Okay.
And then the tanks are in that door over there.
Let's walk back here.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
So unfortunately, this doesn't open very far. So you can see the tanks inside. So that provides the hydrogen used in the fuel cells.
And so you said that's enough hydrogen to go 450 miles?
Yep, at 80,000 pounds fully loaded.
Wow, that's a big, and then that's the limit of what a tractor can pull on the roads legally usually, right? Now tell me about a CDL driver. Could pretty much any CDL licensed truck driver hop in here and function like they know?
Yep. Our CDL drivers are the ones who test and tell us what we should be doing better. But basically, it drives just like a regular truck. You have to have the air brake certification. But basically, anybody could jump in and basically drive the same way.
And so if we just look around a little bit more, everything else I see here kind of looks just like a semi-truck.
Yep, it actually is.
Okay, all right, cool. It's cool to see that. And I see this one's branded Kenworth, but PACCAR also makes some development Peterbilts as well.
Yep.
Okay, that's the one my dad always thought was the cool logo when I was a kid, was the Peterbilt. Let's see, what else can we cover here? I think it's just such a cool setup. A lot of people at home are wondering, like, how would I have access to using hydrogen or doing something and participating in the hydrogen economy?
Yep.
Can you tell us some of the challenges about bringing a hydrogen vehicle to a consumer?
Yep. So we do have hydrogen vehicles for consumers today on the road in California. The Toyota Mirai, over 14,000 have been sold in the U.S. And they're able to charge in kind of limited stations in California currently. Toyota is committed to continuing the efforts to build more infrastructure and partner with appropriate companies in order to push that hydrogen society forward.
So as I understand it, the infrastructure is just the biggest challenge right now. Clearly, we've got Toyota and other manufacturers working on fuel cell development. I think the cars could probably make it to market quicker than the hydrogen availability. And hydrogen's sneaky, isn't it?
Yep,
it's
lighter
always
than
trying
air.
It's lighter than the
That's
than
right.
air. It has a very small molecule.
Very small molecule.
So it's hard to keep in one place and keep at the right pressure to make it gas pump available. So I think a lot of that technology is on the way. We'll see.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Debbie. It's
Thank
been really
you.
fun nerding out with this Class 8 semi with
Yep,
you.
me too. Thank you.
All right, we'll hop back to Katy or just some fun B-roll here.
We're going to get you to your massage on time.
I love it.
Oh, did I hear Let's Go, Katy, from you, Tim? I'm live. Sedona just said to me, we have 3 minutes. I have a massage. So at the end of the Rebelle Rally, Emily brings in masseuses. And if you need a massage, you can have one. So I'm here with 100% Rebelle and an original Rebelle, Sedona Blinson, Team 129, who competed with Bailey Campbell this year. How did you learn about the first Rebelle?
I actually learned about the first Rebelle because I had followed some women that went to the Gazelle, which is a rally in Morocco. So I had followed a couple of the American teams that were there, and so I kind of had this like little connection between that. And so, of course, Emily had trained women to go do that one. So that's how I first heard about it. And immediately when I heard about it, because I had dreamed to go to Morocco and do that, I was like, if I don't sign up and do this one, if I don't sign up to do the first one, I might never do it. Like, I might never challenge myself.
And you had no idea that everybody was saying this woman cannot possibly pull this off. And so it was a very dubious first year. Like, she's never, ever going to pull it off. Tell us what that first year was like.
I actually feel very, very fortunate to be able to do the first one because we were all rookies and none of us really knew what we were doing. My off-road experience and my navigation experience, like, it was a definite novice. So I just kind of gleamed up at some of the women that had done off-road competitions before. But it was just really special, and I think it just solidified the spirit of what the Rebelle is, because we all wanted to do well and we all wanted to see how this worked out, and it was a truly beautiful rally. And yeah, we had no idea that it might not work. We just assumed it was all going to be just fine.
Just trusted Emily, as we all do. Let's just dive into this and see what happens. That happens every year. Yeah. Now, you're known as one of the most competitive navigators 8 years later. Tell me a little bit about how you think the Rebelle has evolved over, can you believe it, 8 years?
I still can't believe it. I think that first year definitely solidified how the spirit of the Rebelle is. So that's still really the nugget within the Rebelle that makes it so special. But navigation-wise and driving-wise, every year it just gets a little bit tougher so that we can grow and expand our skills. And so now the pace is much different. If you want to be in the top, if you want to be competitive, you definitely have to find your stride and find it early to keep it. And so that's definitely something that's changed. There's also a lot more black checkpoints, which was not a thing starting out. So, it makes it more challenging and more time consuming during the day. But it's become a bigger thing where people are practicing and know how to practice and know how to compete. So
you'll be interested in this. Nina and Terilyn just said to me, anyone can know everything that you have to do on the Rebelle, but now the secret sauce to them is how do you implement, because you don't know if Emily's going to give a grueling, like, physical and terrain challenge or a plot twisting challenge, and it's about implementation. So anyway, community. For me, the greater family of Rebelle is amazing. Like, I'll go to Montana and just pick up the phone. There'll be a Rebelle in Montana. You come to New Zealand, there's going to be a Rebelle in New Zealand. We have this massive network of friends. And can you give an example of how the rally has provided you with a lifelong friendship?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I could list a whole slew of women that I've been able to become friends with. But like you said, it's nice to be able to pull from some things. Like, here's kind of a silly story, is that my youngest wants to be a stunt double. And so I actually was like, I have friends that, like, are producers, and, like, they might be able to help you, like, figure out how to become a stunt double. Like, I would have never had that kind of connection. But, like, Rebecca Donaghy is a producer. I have friends that are, like, in Hollywood. Matt is a stunt driver sometimes. So it's kind of nice to be, like, pull from their knowledge of that, and it's just an expansion of interesting jobs and descriptions. I can be like, oh, I have someone I can ask about that.
It's funny. I actually found a lawyer for my son through the Rebelle network.
See?
Okay, so how it really is the biggest network I've ever tapped into, and it's all women, and they're all doing the most intelligent and adventurous things all of the time. So now, how has the Rebelle changed you as a person?
The Rebelle has made me a better partner in my daily life, a better employee because I'm more flexible. I'm more confident and capable because of the Rebelle. I know I can look at a challenge, literally any challenge. It could not be automotive related. It could just be like tackling something, and I can be like, I can do that because I'm a Rebelle. And it makes it very, very different. And it's like at the core of myself now, where I can be like, I am a more patient, better human because I've done this challenge.
It's amazing. And do you have any valuable lessons that you've learned from it? Like, do you have any examples of where you've, like, got a concrete example of how that might have come about in your daily life?
There's lots of things, but I definitely look at things. When I went back into the workforce after being a mom, I definitely had a challenge because I was a stay-at-home mom, and I got back in it. And every day I just reminded myself, like, you can do this. You can take it day by day. You can take it checkpoint by checkpoint, basically, and just continuously grow with it. There's always room for growth, and that's the Rebelle in me.
Well, I love being a Rebelle alongside you, and the spirit of it and the way that we approach every life challenge once you've done the Rebelle is amazing. So if you're watching and you're interested in doing a training or talking to a Rebelle, just reach out. I mean, you've just met Sedona, you've met so many women on Katy with Coffee that would 100% have a phone conversation with you, or DM them on Instagram and just say, hey, what's it like? How do I get into it? So if you're fanning out on someone from this year, just reach out anytime. Thank you so much. You are the epitome of a Rebelle every year. Appreciate you. Out to Emme, people.
Thank you so much, Katy. I'm here with Craig Kaufman. And Craig, I'm going to let you say what you do at Toyota.
Manager of the Emerging Technologies Group at Toyota Racing Development.
Okay, and what we have here is a Toyota Tundra. That is the full-size truck. This is a gas-powered vehicle, correct?
Yeah, it's a hybrid.
Okay, so we have the iForce Max hybrid, but hidden here in the bed is something pretty exciting. So, Kramer, let's get a shot. What is happening here, Craig?
So what we have here is a hydrogen-powered fuel cell generator.
Okay.
That supplies power for any kind of event or any kind of standalone power activity where power is needed in a remote location like we are now.
Okay. So this is able to, so we have a fuel cell.
Yeah, so we have the fuel cell from the second-gen Toyota Mirai in here.
Okay.
And it's the same fuel cell that's used in the
Class 8.
Class 8, yes.
Okay.
This is the lower half of those two steps.
Got it. Okay.
We have 30 kilowatt hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries.
Okay.
So we can run on battery for a little while if we need to, but for the most part, we always run on hydrogen. We have, it's got a cooling system. It's all built in. It's all bolted right into the bed here.
Okay.
And it forklifts into the bed and comes out really easily. So if we need any repairs or anything like that, the top comes off and it all comes out pretty quickly.
Okay. So why did you guys, why are you bringing this out here to the Rebelle? I know we were powering our live show a little bit.
Right.
So how much power can this actually generate?
So with the live, we're only powering about 4 or 5 kilowatts.
Okay.
This will do 80 kilowatts, so this can power quite a bit.
So
I think your entire base camp's 25.
Yeah.
So we can power.
We could power
the
the entire base camp if we wanted to.
We could, yes.
We could power a house for almost a week.
Yeah, it depends on how much hydrogen you have. Like we always have hydrogen that's remote off. There's no hydrogen built into the truck.
Okay.
So depending on how much hydrogen you have, depends on how long you can run and how much power.
Okay.
We could probably power a block of homes with this thing.
No, for how long?
It depends on how much gas you have. But yeah.
All right. Well, let's look. This is our hydrogen over here,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. So we have about 3 kilograms of hydrogen here.
Okay.
So.
Wait. We have 3 kilograms of hydrogen, but there's 6 tanks.
Yeah. Right. So they're half a kilogram each.
But that feels like there's not a lot of. I mean, these feel like really big tanks to only have a half a kilogram.
They're actually really thick.
They're really thick.
There's not a lot of volume in these.
Okay.
And they're not under a ton of pressure.
Okay, that's probably a good thing, right?
Right. Yeah, especially. So when we run events like this, we have a regulator system down here that we run, and we run the pressure down.
Okay.
So that when we're running to the truck with people around and everything, that it's a lot safer to have all the high pressure here and nothing close to the truck.
Okay, so the hydrogen comes into this steel braided line.
Yes.
And then it goes into your truck.
Yes.
And that
comes right up the bottom there, the bumper.
Okay, and that goes into the fuel cell itself?
It does, yeah. It goes right into the fuel cell there.
And that's where the engineering magic happens, where you're able to use the electrolysis process and extract the electricity, and I know that's not what happens.
Right, yeah.
But you're able to make the electricity with the hydrogen, and then your byproduct is water.
Right, yeah. It's combined with oxygen, so on the top here we have the intake and the exhaust here.
Oh,
so on the
up there.
So that's
okay.
the exhaust that comes out. The intake goes in there.
Uh-huh.
And so you get oxygen from the atmosphere and the hydrogen, and then you make water.
Right.
So we have a tank here that collects the condensated water.
Okay.
And then when it fills up enough, we can drain out. We use
You don't drain it out. You use the water, though, right?
We do.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we don't dump it, yeah.
Yeah. You can't.
we
Don't waste water, folks.
Yeah, I know. No, especially in the desert. No.
Yeah, exactly. So how much weight is all of this?
It's about 2,500 pounds.
Oh, so is that within the Tundra's carrying weight, or did you have to upgrade?
It's a little over. It's got upgraded suspension in it.
Oh, okay.
So underneath there has a billet 5-link suspension system that TRD's designed and developed.
Okay.
And then it's got upgraded shocks and springs.
Cool. So because normally your normal Toyota Tundra, I think the max load carrying is probably like 1,800 pounds maybe
that,
in the Tundra.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. I'm so good.
That was pretty good.
It's like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's like I know what I'm doing. So what is it like to drive this, to have all of the weight in the back? Do you feel it, or is it just...
You do feel it. It's no different than if you were going to the hardware store with a whole bunch of concrete or something in the back.
Okay.
But it rides really nice. We drove it out here. It rode on the washboard roads really well and drives great.
I love it. Well, I'm hoping that, what's interesting about hydrogen that I think that we should be able to talk about is that the fact that, you're charging a battery electric vehicle, and that takes so much longer, right? I mean, yes, we've got some quicker charging times, but when you've got hydrogen, you just fill it up. It's like a gas stop.
And we've used this to charge electric vehicles too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So we've had level 2 charging. We've charged 3 cars with one of these. And so if you're doing something remotely with electric vehicles and you needed charging, we can come out with charging really easily and charge them.
How many kilowatts can it push? What's the speed that it can push when you're charging a car?
80 kilowatts. Level 2 charging anywhere between 6 to 10 kilowatt hours.
Okay.
10 kilowatts depending.
But
on
no
the
DC fast charging, just level 2.
No, we haven't set that part up yet.
Yeah. I mean, that requires a whole inverter.
Yeah, it's about 150 kilowatts in DC fast charging right now.
Yeah. But you need to take, because you're going from AC power to DC power and then back again. There's all kinds of science involved.
It's kind of inefficient that way.
Yeah. You lose a little bit of power every time you send that through the inverter.
Right. Yeah.
But it's great when you're just pushing AC power in, because then the battery electric vehicle or the plug-in hybrid makes that conversion on its own inside the vehicle, and there's a little bit less loss.
Right. So level 2 charging is the easiest and most kind of efficient way to do it. It just takes longer.
Yeah. So. Well, but sometimes when you have a plug-in hybrid, that's all you really need.
Yeah, if you had one out here, we could charge it for you.
Yeah, well, we do. We do have some of the Jeep 4xEs. Would you hook a Jeep up to your Toyota product?
I don't know if that's allowed.
Oh, no, not sure.
Something might happen.
Well, thank you so much, Craig, for hanging out here. There is also a fuel cell Toyota Tacoma, which is actually running on hydrogen that I hope to get a drive in later, but that is out and about. So hopefully I can write up a little article about that. But in the meantime, thank you so much for your time, Craig. Appreciate it. And Katy's got someone else out there in the tent. Katy, back to you.
Thanks, Emme. It's almost watching Emme spar out there. She knows so much about all these vehicles. She's such a techie. So I'm here with Kristen Shaw, who's just had one of those massages, and she's ready to chat. She's a 3-time Rebelle, competed as Team 191 with Jill, as your navigator, and she's an automotive journalist and finds the Rebelle to be mentally and emotionally really quite challenging, and I thought that would be a really good thing to tap into. Talk to me about why you feel that way and how you mitigate it coming into the Rebelle and on the Rebelle.
I think that you have to mentally prepare yourself, and you don't know what you don't know your rookie year. It's 8 solid days of constant decision making, working with your teammate. I don't care who you're teamed up with, 8 days with the same person is also mentally challenging. Right? Because you become like sisters if you're not already. You might snap, or not, right? But Jill and I are friends first, and we always say our friendship comes first. So we also find relief from that exhaustion from each other. We
holding each other up. I saw a lot of that in this year's rally.
Absolutely. And the best part of the whole rally for me, we were so tired yesterday. The last day, we're so tired. We get to the very end, the last screen checkpoint, and we have to change a tire. Our tire was losing pressure fast.
So Kristen came in at the very end of the finish line yesterday, and she was number 4 in a group of 4, and the 3 vehicles in front gave up their time and came in helping out. And you were in tears, but everybody around you was like, this was a party. We didn't care about our scores at that point. We just wanted to support this Rebelle. So talk me through that experience.
That is what really lifts me up. When I'm feeling tired and I get to hug another competitor or someone I know or someone I don't know, it just makes me feel so much better. Those people, I said at any time, you can leave. This is our truck. We're responsible for it. And they're like, nope, we've given up those penalty points. We're going to stay here. We're not going to leave you behind. That is really special.
Now, you were talking with me earlier about how you don't have to be a professional driver or a professional navigator to do the Rebelle, but you can try. Go into that a little bit, because I think a lot of people watching the Rebelle as we've evolved and become a world-class competition, it scares people. But you can still come in as a rookie. I think a lot of rookies come in and think that they can finish top 10, and they get humbled pretty quickly. But talk to me about what you would recommend if you're telling someone out there just to give it a try.
Jill and I are not off-roaders. I camp once a year, and that is here. But when I covered this as media in 2021, I thought, this is crazy. Like, I don't think I could do this. But Jill said, let's try this. And we didn't expect to win. We went in knowing this is going to be something that's going to challenge us, and it continues to challenge us.
So you covered it, and then Jill was the one that said, let's give it a shot.
Yeah. And we were already friends. I was like, I don't know, this is crazy. Like, I don't do any of this stuff. I didn't even know how to change a tire at that point.
So
I've learned a lot.
What do you do to prepare mentally? Like, before the rally, what are the things that you do to kind of figure out how? Because Nina and Terrelyn just said earlier that you can have all the knowledge, but if you don't know how to implement and to get through not sleeping, because I need sleep or I'm not fun to be around. And I haven't had much sleep. Sorry, guys, in the van. What do you do to make sure that you get enough sleep or you're able to cope with not having it?
Well, the first year I wore earplugs, and I was out solid, right? And Jill would make sure I was awake. Well, on the last day, I didn't hear Jill get up early, and I didn't hear the cowbell, and I slept through it the final day. And Jill sent one of our friends, Jenna, and she came and woke me up. She had to actually crawl into the tent and be like, Kristen, you got to get up
I'm jealous
now.
that you can sleep on the Rebelle.
Well, then I couldn't wear earplugs anymore because I needed to be awake and alert. But we go to bed right after dinner. Like, we're in the tent 9:30.
And that's easy to do here because you can't watch TV, you can't get on your phone because that's all taken away.
It's a bad habit anyway.
Well, thank you so much for chatting.
Thank you, Katy.
This is the conclusion of Coffee with Katy. I love this part of the rally because we dig a little deeper and we get to understand why Rebelles do this, how they're feeling honestly. And until next year, the 10th year of the Rebelle Rally, I can't wait to see everyone in 12 months' time. Thank you so much to our team and to Toyota for sponsoring the live team. Goodbye.
everybody can come on over. Yes. Tell them to come on over. Oh, for sure. Oh, everybody's allowed to be here.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I didn't want to.
But let's start.
Okay.
Stand up next to me. All right, welcome. If everyone can lean into the tent and tell everybody to come on out. Congratulations, teams. And welcome, friends, family, and partners to the finish of the 9th annual Rebelle Rally. Just have to thank everybody, because if you're sitting here right now, it means you had a lot of skin in the game, right? You were there for these teams. You were there to support them and to encourage them. And every single person, the ones that are positive, even the ones that are negative, that maybe told you couldn't do this, sometimes they're the fire that makes you want to do it, right? So big thank you to everyone who was a part of the annual Rebelle Rally. I want to say an incredible thank you to our partners that are here. Literally, we work all year, longer than a year, with them to make sure that this beast of a rally happens. Thank you to Pennzoil, Iridium, Pirelli, Total Chaos Fabrication, YB Tracking, Toyota, really consider every time you vote, every time you spend $1, you vote with your wallet. Vote for the partners that make this rally happen. So thank you. If you don't know, the Rebelle Rally is the longest competitive off-road rally in the entire country. And it is built for you. There were 65 teams representing 118 cities, 27 states, 6 countries. It was 2,681 kilometers long. That's if you did the shortest distance right on point. Did you do that? No, I think you probably did more like maybe 3,200 kilometers. There were 8 stages, 3 base camps, and 2 marathons. Did you like the marathons? It started in Mammoth Mountain. Thank you to Mammoth Mountain for letting us drive up your ski resort like no one else would let us do, and start in a place that was almost 10,000 feet above sea level. We went down to Death Valley below sea level. We covered every type of terrain except maybe East Coast mud, although we did probably have some mud, and classic Nevada dry lake beds, and the seldom chance to have actually a wet lake bed on Soggy Lake. Really excited to finish here in Johnson Valley. It is iconic in the world of off-road. Thank you to everyone for your prayers to keep the W word down this morning. Okay, we are here to celebrate today the teams, the partners, and the incredible, awesome staff that we have that makes this rally happen. But we're really here to celebrate you. Like I say, you really don't even know what you just did. And tonight is about the soul of the Rebelle and the soul of that journey and how hard you had to work to get to the starting line, through the rally, and to the finish line. And on behalf of the entire rally, I am so proud of you. We are so proud of you. I want everyone to give these competitors a huge hand. For the first time since COVID, we have been able to invite you in to be part of the Podium Awards. We split it up. We're going to go over the podium this morning for the X-Cross, the 4x4, and Bone Stock. Tonight, we will do the remainder of our awards. Includes Team Spirit, the Pirelli Scorpion Challenge, the International Cup, all of that. And then we will really, I think you're going to be amazed to see what you just did for the last 11 days, and we cannot wait to show you. Thank you to the media team that kept all of you informed about what was going on, thanks to the live show. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our live show hosts, Matthew Johnson and Emme Hall. Thank you for being the voice out there. And Matthew, here you go.
Thanks, Emily. What an exciting day, everybody. Look, we're already here. And just to let you know, all of our fans and friends and folks at home on the live show are also joining us here. And so this is being covered as well. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Third place in X-Cross, Team 205. It's Team BMW driving a 2025 BMW X3 M50 is Rebecca Donaghy and Sandili Wade. Couple words, Rebecca.
I just want to thank BMW for the faith in us, all the folks in the factory at Spartanburg, Expel for protecting it, all of our other sponsors that you can see on the side here that have done amazing work on this to get us here and get us to the start line, and especially Sandili for trusting me and getting in the car with me and surviving this 8 days of evil terrain.
Thank you so much. You know, I'm French speaker, so I will try to speak. Okay, so thank you everybody, and we had a great time, and the car was amazing, and was very surprised how it was in the dunes, and I can say that also because I'm used to drive in the dunes in cross-country rallies, and the car I was very surprised, and the car was amazing. And I can tell you also something because I've done 7 Dakar races, and I can tell you the navigation here is more difficult. Congratulations to everybody.
Wow, there's a testament, right? Hey, before we move on to second place, I want to let all Rebelles know there's going to be a special little ceremony out in the desert, so do not go anywhere when we're done with this celebration here. Okay, moving right along, second place in X-Cross, Team 200, Built Wild, driving a 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Badland Sasquatch Edition. No stranger to the podium, Melissa Clark and Catherine Reinhardt. Let's get up here.
Wow, thank you guys. Thanks to Ford and Ford Performance. And you guys made basically a miracle happen. We broke an oil pan here in Johnson Valley, got the part sourced, got us put back together. Thanks to Nick and your crew, everybody who ran those parts. You guys are amazing. Got us 2 more fantastic days to get us here at second place. So I appreciate all of you, appreciate all the sponsors, Stilo Helmets, Chemical Guys, although the silt was tough. But we had some great sponsors. I'll let Catherine speak a little bit about that.
You know, we're really grateful to even be here right now. Melissa pointed out we had a really tough day. We had some a tough adversity that we didn't account for, and that's kind of what Rebelle is all about, is adversity in the most toughest of times. And we can't say thank you enough to the Rebelle staff, to Nick and the entire mechanics team that really saved our day, and as a result, we had 2 really great days. And I just want to point out, Melissa is a fantastic driver. She makes this Bronco Sport look like it can go anywhere, and I know it's really because of her driving. But we're eternally grateful to Ford and the Ford team, Ford Performance, to even had this opportunity. And Brian, everybody, it was just such a great experience, and we're just eternally grateful.
Last thing. Thank you, Brian Clark. You drove, I don't know how many hours to get that oil pan for us. Thank you.
It's the people behind the scenes sometimes, isn't it? Yeah, stay right there, stay right there, stay right there. Okay, and moving right along, here we are already on the top step of X-Cross. It's Team 204 Mountain Subi driving a 2014 Subaru Outback. It's Carrie Landau and Andrea Schaefer.
Oh my word. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for Subaru of America for believing in us this year and making this year possible for us. We're also very grateful for all of our build sponsors that helped put all of the components into this car and let us run it. Friends and family who worked many countless hours on this car, getting it ready and going, and of course my amazing navigator that I can't even begin to tell you how amazing she's been this entire competition. So thank you to everyone, the staff, the supporters, and of course Andrea.
Definitely thank you, Subaru of America, for believing in us and backing us and getting us here. Thank you for believing in me and letting me be your navigator. Thank you to my parents and my in-laws and everybody back home for watching my kids so I can be here. And our girls, thank you guys for all your support and your love. And we couldn't be here without all of our friends. And thank you to the other X-Cross competitors, because it was an amazing week competing with you guys.
Awesome. Let's get a big round of applause for all of our X-Cross podium finishers. All right, we are going to move on to 4x4. But before we do, I just want to remind you guys, tonight we are going to be doing the Rookie of the Year award. That is really the heart and soul of the Rebelle Rally. All of the rookies are competing for it. There was some fierce competition out there. So that is going to be announced tonight. And I'm very excited to see what they get because it's so cool. But we are going to start here with third place in the 4x4 category. Two of our favorite people, Sam Brophy and Sam Barber and Becky Brophy in the 152 Total Chaos Toyota Tacoma.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. First, obviously, thank you so much to the whole crew at Total Chaos Fabrication for putting so much work into this truck. It was a dream to drive. So much, we had so much fun on the amazing terrain these last 8 days. Thank you, Emily and Jimmy, for making this course and letting us have a blast in this truck. And thanks to my amazing navigator. Thanks for always sticking with me. I'll hand it to you.
So I want to thank all the competitors and Nina and Tara Lynn, thank you. You helped me whenever I was really, really struggling on day 3, and I think that's part of why Becky and I are up here, because I don't know that I could have made it the rest of the way without what you helped us with. And the Total Chaos crew, this truck, I have absolutely loved being right seat for Becky. It is such a wonderful thing in all the terrain that we've been in. And Jimmy Lewis, I loved your challenge, and I hope we get to do more of that in the future.
Wow, a competitor loves Jimmy Lewis. That's some strong words. That's some strong love, everybody. All right, moving along to second place in one of our Ford Bronco Raptors. Team 150, Rory Lewis navigating, and Ms. Shelby Hall as the pilot.
Oh man, we have been working so hard for this. This year was so much fun. This was the best rally I've had, and this is my 6th rally. And it was not the best because we're up here. It was the best because we made the best team that I've had. We had so much fun. And the course, like they said, ripped. Man, Bronco Raptor was made for the course. It was rough. It was fast. It was so much fun. And I just mostly want to say thank you to Rory. She is such a great navigator. She makes it look easy. I try and help her sometimes, and I'm like, I just don't see what you're seeing, and I trust you. And she kind of says the same to me sometimes. But thank you so much, Ford Performance, for having such an integral role in all of these amazing women being here. All of us 5 Ford Performance teams here kicked butt, and it was so fun to have amazing camaraderie and be able to support each other to get where we are. Thank you, BF Goodrich Tires. I saw a lot of flats out there because we drove through so many rocks, and thankfully we didn't have to change any tires. This was the dustiest course we've ever been on. I was very stoked to have these KC Amber Lights, and Tread Lightly is always here supporting us, and it was such a great year. Thank you, Rory.
No, this year was pretty freaking epic. This is my 7th year in, and I'm finally on the podium, finally got a stage win. Been working our butts off to get here, and I'm very, very proud of us. I am so proud to be a part of Team Ford. Like she said, the camaraderie this year was unbelievable, so much fun. Having your guys' support along the way, it just kept us motivated, kept us chugging along, and really, really, we couldn't have done it without Team Ford. So thank you. And Shelby, I had the most amazing rally.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you two. Always good to see you all out there. But we are here at our first place finishers for the 4x4 class in the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. And of course, you all know them. You all love them. It's Team 129, Nina Barlow and Tara Petteritt. Come on up here, ladies. Come on up.
Always running. Got to stay on pace.
Oh, sure. I can't imagine a better combo and partnership than Nina Barlow and Jeep. So thank you, Nina, for being the best, and love you. 10 years ago, we didn't have this platform. This wasn't a sport in America. So thank you, Emily, for giving us this game, and all of you guys keeping us pushing and running. And so tired. So thanks to all our competitors for keeping us moving. And yeah.
I start out with thanking Jeep for the Gladiator Mojave. It's named for this desert, and we sure found out the reason why, because it was an amazing truck out here. Falcon Tires for keeping the air on the inside for us the whole time, every year. Scrub Blade, because we would not have been able to see where we were going without Scrub Blade. The competitors are amazing. The staff is amazing, and we keep coming back because the people are just amazing. Even when we see people out there on the course, they're having a bad day or a bad moment, everybody still is like, we still got each other's back, and that is so rare, and it's so amazing. It's just to be in this air. And Sam and Becky, we just admire you guys for bringing so many people up with you, all the women that you have brought into this rally. So thank you for that. No feelings. All right. You're going to say bikini, right? Yeah. Sure. Oh, wait. What else?
Well, I was going to say, we didn't mention Bettini, who's had our backs every single year, and so we're excited to go enjoy tonight, too.
That's it. Stay on pace. She never stopped believing. There were moments when I doubted myself, and we lift each other up, and thank you for that. And even when you let me go full Nina in the dunes. So.
All right, let's hear it for all of our 4x4 winners and all of our crossover podium finishers as well. This is back to you, Emily.
Thank you, Emmy. I think it's an incredible thing to have such amazing women to compete against and compete with. And what I've seen this year is the level of competition and camaraderie. You're competing against each other, but because you're out there together and your skills are so great, you're really bringing up everyone around you. And how fun is it to have such tough competition. Sometimes people want it easy. It was not easy. There was nothing left on the table with this rally. I am so proud of you. One thing about this rally is that's different. It is designed for stock manufacturer vehicles, the vehicles that we drive every day, not expensive, temperamental race cars. Doesn't everybody sort of dream about being a rally car driver? But the vehicles in our driveway are so capable. We use a fraction of what they're capable of. How many people are engineers from the manufacturers that are here right now? Raise your hand. There's a lot of competitors. We have so many women in STEM. About 30% of all of our drivers and navigators come from positions of STEM in their professional life. How great is that? But how great is it when the car you design is going out and doing the things that it was really designed to do? Rod Hall always said, the mark of a great driver is to pilot a stock manufacturer vehicle with zero modifications successfully to the edge of its limits without breaking it. Also, the mark of a great vehicle is that it can make it through the Rebelle with a great driver and be there for them. It is truly the third teammate. So a very special award, and it'll be awarded again. All of you guys will get your handheld trophies tonight, and so will the manufacturers. But I want to call this out because we are unique, that we truly provide a platform that is a legit platform for adventure and endurance for stock manufacturer vehicles. With that, we created the Bone Stock Award. And the Bone Stock winner this year, we give it to the team, especially the driver. I know navigators, you do a lot, but the drivers, you're driving that baby. It is for the manufacturer that made a great, capable car. And in X-Cross, that award goes to Ford. I would like Matt Winter from Ford Performance, who runs Global Off-Road. And thank you, Matt, for being a great partner. You've always been great to work with. Ford, everyone at Ford has been wonderful and supportive of this rally. Thank you.
Thank you. It means a lot to Ford to be a part of this and such a special event with so many special ladies. Like you said, we had 5 teams, and it was great to have all of them out here and really see what these vehicles are capable of in their stock form. So thank you.
All right. So we love it because we send the award to Ford to put in their trophy case to remind everyone that Ford builds great products. In the 4x4 class, we have, once again, Team 129, Nina Barlow driving this Jeep. Manufacturer Award goes again for the most Bone Stock Awards in the history of Rebelle to Jeep.
So, yeah, I mean, thanks to Jeep, Steve Circus, who put up with all of my questions, asking the good engineering questions all spring, getting to know this critter. Scott Brown, who has been just a supportive of the Rebelle Rally since day one and gets us here every year somehow, and we appreciate that. And I think Tara Lynn's middle name should also be Mojave. Thank you.
We've been fortunate to have partnerships all with Jeep, Ford, and Toyota. And I really thank them for supporting all together and believing in this event. We had the highest number of Fords this year at 15. Yeah, really doubling those entries in Fords. It's so fun now to hear people say, I went out and bought this car because I want to do the Rebelle Rally. We had 18 Toyotas. For the first time tied with Jeep at 18 Jeep vehicles. Yeah. There are some great cars out here today. I hope you were able to get a chance to look at them. You can keep looking at them. This area is open till about 12 noon today. Outside of the interior of the base camp is for credentialed. but you can stay, mingle, enjoy this day with your awesome teams. I can't wait to announce, but we have a 10th rally. Yes, some days I wake up and go, I'm never doing this again. I don't even know if we're going to announce this thing. I am so excited to announce that we are celebrating our 10th anniversary this next October, and registration is open. With that, we're going to do something special that we haven't done before. Chrissy has a big, massive Rebelle Rally banner, and I would like all Rebels to come out here on the dry lake bed and hold it up for the cameras, and a great finish to the Podium Awards. Every single person that crossed the finish line is a complete badass. Thank you.
Yeah, I love doing the podiums like that. That was really cool, having it outdoors with everyone's friends and relatives.
It was super fun, and tonight everybody's in a party mood, and that simplifies tonight's awards as well, and it lets more people participate.
Absolutely. Well, we've got some more live show for you guys tonight at 5 o'clock with the red carpet. You will see everybody dressed up, clean, and showered. We're going to get a live drone shot of what's happening out here on the lake bed. But for right now, I am Emme Hall, and with me as always is
Matthew Johnson. It's really fun bringing this show to you guys at home. Thank you for joining us. It really does make a difference to us and gives us something to do, hey?
Yeah, it gives me something to do. You know what? It beats working. We'll see you tonight,
evening.
5 o'clock. Peace out, baby.
We have lights for all on and off-road enthusiasts. For 30 years, we have been lighting up the night. We are Baja Designs, the scientists of lighting.
Pavement is optional. Total Chaos equipment is built for travel. Introducing our newest project vehicle, Seabiscuit, a Lexus GX 460. It combines luxury interior with performance off-road components. It's outfitted with our newest suspension package, designed specifically for KDSS models. Explore more.
Good morning, commuters. Looks like we got traffic backed up for miles. Starting with a downed tree blocking East Avenue and a broken water main causing a bottleneck on the westbound lanes. We've got weekend travelers flooding the turnpike, meaning it's bumper-to-bumper traffic for the foreseeable future. I'd get comfortable. You might be there for a while.
Toyota Trucks. Let's go places.